Hey, hope you're doing well. I am just realizing, since I've been reading this book and since I put it out there, I have created so much deeper relationships with people. And I think that's because, I feel like an open book. Haha. Basically, from writing this book, it's like, well, you know what? This is who I am. And I think that it really has helped me to have deeper relationships with others, and not hide myself and be more open about who I am, and really be authentic in the relationships that I do have with people. So anyway, that's something I've been thinking about. So today I am going to start on page 114. It's a new chapter called Plucked Flower Blossoms. My flip-flops drop on the shoe stand while I reach to open the door. A big rush of hot, humid air blankets my already perspiring body, while the booming voices of the other yogis flood my ears. The space I land on is between a familiar-faced late 40-something woman to my left and a 30-something woman man who is chiseled to perfection on my right. He smiles and she smiles. Hello, I say with a boomerang smile. I quickly place my tomato red mat between the two of them and cover it with the sunny yellow non-slip cover and run through the maze of other mats to the corner to grab a sky blue colored block that helps with stretching poses. I am now back in place and set up, lying back on the mat. I take this time to mentally prepare for class by relaxing and practicing breathing, but the roar of voices keep coming like a wave. Like waves on the rocky Oregon coast, the ebb and flow of voices surround me, getting louder into a crescendo before they quiet into silence and rise again. The rock music of Coldplay is reverberating amongst the conversations. I like this song, but this feels more like a party than a yoga class. So much for Eastern yoga. This is definitely the American version. The voices slowly silence as Matt enters the room and turns the music off. Hi, everyone. Hello, Matt, bursts out a few voices. They all sound so damn cheery. Can't they just be real and not act so frickin' fake? These people act like this guy walks on water. I don't know. I swear this is like a cult at times. Matt is short, standing approximately 5 feet 6 inches, and today he is sporting a tight black tank top and black fitted shorts. Matt is fit, late 30s or 40s, light-skinned with black hair. He is the owner of the studio and gets immediate respect from the yoga students. Matt is comfortable in his skin and in his role as an instructor. The rock star microphone over his head gives him an air of authority. He smiles as he walks between the tiny spaces between the wall-to-wall yogis, being careful to not step on a mat or knock over a bottle of water. He clasps his hands. Well, let's get to know each other really well and move in closer together to fit more people in the room, he says with his lips so tight. I feel claustrophobic. There is no sacred space. My heart races as I have to crowd in even closer to strangers. Why the hell do we pay $100 a month to be squeezed in like sardines so that they can make even more money? I feel like a number, just another body, just another dollar sign. After we all shuffle and move even closer together, the room seems even hotter. The temperature is set at 87 degrees, but with all these bodies confined in this small space, it is sucking the air right out of here. We haven't even started and I'm ready to pass out. Why did I come today? I knew this class would be packed. I swear, I love to torture myself. Too late now to change my mind. I'm stuck. Okay, now we are ready to go, Matt says. Well, let's start with child's pose. Come onto your knees and bring your toes together at the end of your mat. Start with your knees wide open and bow forward. Sit your butt back down into your heels. Begin to start breathing in through your nose while your hands reach in front of you. Take this time to be here. Come to your mat. and be present to yourself and breathe. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. It is that simple. Life is that simple. Always come back to this. Breathe in and breathe out. When things get tough, know that you always have your breath. Yoga is meant to be fun, Matt chuckles. It is meant to be childlike. Breathe in through the mouth. Press the forehead into the mat. Bring a childlike quality into your yoga. He continues with his quirky accent. My lips quiver as I do everything I can to hold in the words that are screaming in my head. Childlike? What the hell is that? I never had a childhood. My eyes are closed as I bow forward. Come into this pose as you came into this world without all the stuff filling your head, but with the freshness of new life, Matt utters. A sense of doom comes over me as I continue to breathe. In my mind's eye, flashes of how I came here begin to flood my eyes, like on a giant movie screen. The memories that my mummy shared with me about the beginnings of my life play in my mind. These yoga classes were extremely difficult in so many ways. And I haven't talked much about the yoga classes, but you know, they were so hot and humid and sweaty in there. And you were just like right next to people. They had no space between your mats. You were literally right next to someone else in this hot and sweaty room. And their sweat would be flying. It was kind of disgusting. But, you know, I look back at this and I go, why did I keep going back? Why did I keep going back to a yoga studio that really, some of the instructors annoyed me. They pissed me off. They made me angry. That, you know, and then having people right on top of me. I've never been someone who likes to be right next to people. And this was a crowded room with people packed in like sardines. And I just kept going back. And I think, you know, I had a conversation with a friend of mine today that's a yoga instructor. And I was telling her, you know, sometimes the most horrendous, difficult things in life, if you keep working and going through it, you get to the other side. And I think with yoga, when I was going and doing these classes, I knew there was a benefit to it beyond getting in shape, beyond the obvious. I knew there was something that even these instructors, you know, it's kind of funny because they were saying the things that I did not want to hear. You know what I mean? There's times when your friend or your family or whatever say things you don't want to hear because it's so close to the truth, or it is the truth, and it's what you don't want to deal with. And that's kind of how these yoga classes were. It was pushing me out of my comfort zone and dealing with things mentally and emotionally that I did not want to deal with. I spent my life trying to cover them up. I spent my life trying to push them aside and to just pretend they weren't there. But they were always kind of like stuck in my body. You know, your emotional stuff gets stuck in your body too. And so as I was going to these yoga classes and these instructors were saying these things to me, I wasn't happy to hear them. And I was doing the movements that they wanted us to do, but I didn't even like doing them. But I kept doing it because I knew on some level that this is what I needed to heal. I needed it, even though I hated it sometimes. And that's kind of how life is, you know? Sometimes we don't want to deal with ourselves. We don't want to deal with the truth about ourselves. We just want to cover it up and pretend like it never existed. And that's kind of where I was at when I started these yoga classes. I thought, I got my shit together. I don't need to deal with more stuff. But I kept going because I knew there was benefit in it. And I don't think it has to be yoga. I think it can be any kind of physical movement. Running did a lot of similar things for me too. The only difference with the yoga was that I was in a group environment, and things were reminding me, people were reminding me about other people or situations that had happened in my life. And it was extremely healing, but extremely difficult to go for 5 and 6 days a week for an hour and a half, every day. But anyway, so that's all I have to say about my reading today. Things are not always easy, and it takes courage and it takes guts to keep moving through it. And I know there are people out there that are listening to this that are dealing with something. And you have to just have the courage to push through it and keep moving and keep doing what you need to do to help yourself heal those things, whatever it is. It's different for everybody. For me, at the time that I wrote this book, it was yoga. That doesn't mean that is the answer for everybody. We all have our own things that we can use to help heal us. But so anyway, I hope that, you have whatever it is you need to heal that inner demon in you, that inner conflict, whatever it is, because we all have them. And I hope you know that, a way to somehow heal and deal with those conflicts and inner demons. So that's all I have to say tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. And the lovely messages I get from you just are so heartwarming, and it helps me to continue. I know I missed last night. That's because I was just exhausted. Believe it or not, this process is very exhausting for me. It seems like it isn't, because all I'm doing is reading a page or two, but I'm having to relive these things and relive my emotions. Even though I'm, kind of beyond all this stuff, it's just sometimes it's kind of hard to see that this is my 19-year-old self or my 30-year-old self that was dealing with all this kind of stuff, and you feel empathy for who you were at that time in your life. So that's really all I've been doing, and that's why I didn't post last night, because I was just exhausted from dealing with a lot of stuff. So I hope you will forgive me, but thank you anyway. I really do appreciate you. Thank you.